Alright, good morning, gentlemen. I'm going to talk again about ranking and some more stuff that I've worked out with my theory and how to make it a lot easier and so forth, and what's the best method and stuff, because it's a pain in the butt. We all know that. If you watch some of the previous videos, I give you some tips. For those in UNT that don't know, I do a lot of these for Hellraiser and Stone Cold. I'm Deep Diver 6. I try to help them out, give them some knowledge. I do a lot of research and stuff, so basically it's not that they rely completely on me for knowledge, but I do. It's just to help them out. When it comes to this game, I guess I'm a geek. Not the smartest individual, but I do try and be helpful for those guys, and they've been with me we've been together for quite a long time. So anyway, I posted videos and I posted a page about the theories that I was trying to find an easier way to rank, a faster way to rank when it comes to shipbuilding, ranking your ships, getting them ready, so forth and so on. And some of it's good, some of it I found a little better way and done some more tweaking. Okay, initially I stated that, put low tech like cuts and everything. Obviously, we all know no armor and so forth will make it rank faster. And you're going to have to refit anyway to put the armor on. With that, what I found also is what I'm doing now is I'm changing up a little bit how I do it and figured out a little better way for myself, and I want to pass it along. Okay, for those that don't know the formula when it comes to ranking, basically what it is for each ship, the max points it can get is 10 points for the damage that it does to a fleet or to a target. So like with cargo, you're going to get the most points. We all know base hitting, stuff like that, fleet to fleet, you're not going to get a whole lot. Hitting dredges, anything like that, cargo is where you're going to get it. And the max you can get for a fleet is 50 points, 10 points per ship in that fleet if there's 5. Okay, the max points you can get for damage is 10 points, veteran experience points for the damage per ship. So again, 50. So if you get 10 points, you can get a total of 100 points for one target, but your ship's going to be dead. So anyway, so what I've also figured out in the fact is that the goal is when we're building a fleet is try, we got to rank it. We all know build times are long. I don't think it's going to change anytime soon. For those that don't keep up with what's going on the forums and stuff, they've scrapped every idea they thought, saying it doesn't work. Nothing's being, at this point, more ideas are being tossed around the table and stuff, and nothing's being, so it could be another 6 months, 9 months, a year, who the hell knows. So anyway, for me as an individual player, my goal is how fast can I get a fleet out? Okay. What I did was I built a fleet in 30 days, 30 to 35 days, putting nothing but cuts on it and stuff, and ranked it up to it so I could get it out and rank. It wasn't bad. The only problem is I like the auto cargo versus actually controlling it, and it was a pain in the butt. I still, 30, 35 days for 5 ships to come out and start ranking them. It's not bad, but I found a better way of doing it. Okay, if you look here at this fleet that I'm using right now, this is my Mastodon fleet, and what I've done is like I said, I like to auto. So everything I build, when it comes, I try to figure out a way to auto the cargo. It's a lot easier, and it's so forth. I do have in my arsenal here, just to kind of give you an idea, if you don't have one, I highly recommend it. If you can get into the campaign and get the Harlock Triton, it's a lot better than the normal Triton, especially for anti stuff, or the mortars and phalanx. But I do have an anti-Triton specifically that goes into my auto fleets for auto and cargo in that sense. Going back, the other thing is to have a decoy sub. Right now, I'm just using my Nighthawks. I'm getting double bonus out of it. One, they're not, completely ranked up all the way max, so it's helping them. You can use your specs if you got specs. Kudas, you're just not going to get the dive time, so they're a little harder to use. You would actually have to drive. But if you have specs or if you have Nighthawks, use it. Key thing is, though, guys, on this is make sure you do have the cloak and stuff on it. Even if you wanted to, for a quick build, depending like on a spec, just as a decoy, if you don't never used a decoy sub, put a just a regular Forsaken torpedo on it. Give it some a battery, give it some cloak and an engine on it, and make sure that the speed is faster than your fleet. So like my Nighthawk, when it's submerged at 35, 36 combat speed, so you want that sub to be completely out in front. If you don't have that speed faster and to stay out in front with the shorter range, then your fleet's going to take some damage. I did take some damage because I was trying something else. Again, I like to goof around and try some stuff. Okay, the best weapons, and I've said this before, the best weapons are missiles. They do the most damage long distance. Okay, so it's the key. I know, trust me, I understand what you're going to say or think that I'm crazy or whatever. Even if you're building SCXs, Stingrays, whatever, that missiles are the best. Okay, no armor, so forth. So what I've learned with it is this. Okay, and you can take this, get one built, get a second one built, and the key is you can auto the cargo. You're not going to do, you have to be careful when you first start out until you start getting some rank on it, but keep an eye on them. But you get the auto on it, and the majority of the points, say like this fleet right here, will average anywhere from 2,000 to 3,000 based on how many targets I got out there to hit, specifically 71s. The more 71s I can hit, the higher I get. So the majority of those points are going to go to these two Mastodons. So if I'm hitting, getting 2,500 points, let's say 95% of those, it's getting split between these two. So you're ranking faster. You're building a third ship. It doesn't matter what it is. When it comes out, you start swapping them out. So what I'm saying is, what I'm finding is, the less amount of ships that you can rank. So if you have a decoy sub, say a spec, which I have one, and I'm going to do some adjustments to it so I don't stop using my Nighthawks. It's not doing a lot of damage, so it's barely getting any point. So the majority of the points are going to these two. Now, three is about the most I would go in the fleet that needs the points. Okay, for an example, my NCs. I do the same thing with my NCs. Is that I take my Triton, put it in there, put my decoy sub in there, and auto. Launchers are good to rank with too, but they're a longer build. So I hope if you got any questions when I do this, please, when I post this, ask them, and I'll go into more. So for an example, I'm just using the Kodiak as an example. Every hull is different based on the build time, but the Kodiak has a 6-day, 7-hour build. If you have an officer, obviously it's so like me, I have an officer that does my ship construction. I use this as an example. It's on my Mastodon, 5 Z's and 5 Strike B's. Okay, if you look at down here, total time, 9 days, 17 hours. that fleet's coming out. Depending on how many you're built, what kind of fleet you're building. If you're building 4 holes, that's 36 days, a little over 36 days. And if you're like me, that $10 a week, I can $5 a week, something like that. I feel like speeding up those last day or last 2 days, with $5, that's 2 days. I can knock it down, knock it down to 30 days. But the key is once I start, like I said, I have 2 going. So as I'm building my 3rd one, when it comes, a 3rd ship comes out, no matter what the ship is, it's getting I can swap them in and out while I'm ranking. Okay. Use another example. Just 4Zs. It's 8 days, 9 hours. Okay. Key is about the damage. You want to be able to kill these things fast, because the more rank as you rank it up, the key is the faster it'll die. The faster the target will die. You can move on to the more you're able to do. Right now, my 2 Mastodons can kill a 71 in 30 seconds. So that with a 50-minute salty dog, and I'm roughly getting about 97 points for every 71 that I'm getting. That's a lot. So as long as the targets are out there, so cleaning up after myself, making sure they can respawn so I can continue to go on, it's important. I know there's been a lot of talk about it, but that's why it's important to clean up after myself so they'll respawn, so the more targets I can hit. That's think of how many targets I'm hitting in 50 minutes. Okay, so again, some ideas, and if you look, I'm only putting, to get it out, I'm only putting the SPF 3 on it. Combat speed 11. So that means your decoy only doesn't have to have a huge advantage as far as combat speed. The other thing is, when it comes to this, is once you get your ships above 50% in ranking, that's when you can start refitting. I'm not going to go into detail why, because I know there's KIXEYE employees that see this. Between 50 and 60, and really after 60%, there's something that goes on. Not going to say, but anyway. Lastly, with that, I'm going to talk real quick about the raiding fleets. Same thing that I've told you about with how I do cargo, autoing, so forth and so on. Guess what? Figure it out. You can do the same thing in the raiding fleets. For those that don't know about that you do the raiding fleets, yes, you can take a lot of damage, this and that and other, but I will tell you this. I'm going to post this video when I post mine, but I want you so you can see the idea. He's using the decoy sub, and he's hitting specific targets. Guys, the raiding fleets, they rank from level 10 to level 14. Level 14 is the base. Level 10, it's got certain targets, 11, 12, 13, and then 14. 13 is the subs, 14 is the base. So the best ones when it comes to this using a decoy is 11 and 12. There's no thermal in it. You can use a decoy. Again, you need a dive time. And you can use any fleet at this point and be able to hit the targets and take no damage or very, very little damage. And go through and get a lot of rank fast. For 13, when it comes to the sub ones, all I do is I put my Viper in with my Mastodons and auto it. Or, just go in, click it, bundle them up, and just auto the subs, and they're dead. I hope this helps. If you got any questions or anything, post them up. I'll answer them. I'm trying to get as much in this as I can in the 15 minutes I have allotted with my video. As more, if I figure out more, if you got any other hints or helpful, do it. You can, there is the arena you could try, but again, I'm not spending the uranium to go in the arena to rank up my fleet. So, good day, everyone. Happy hunting.